Now, if we can buy in a market where it is on a growth cycle, then we just supercharge that equity that we are gaining in a very short period of time, which is the reason you are going to be able to scale your property portfolio further than just the one property. Buying in areas where we have tight supply, buying in areas where we have rental prices increasing, allows you to have some certainty that the rent that you're asking for the property from day one will slowly but surely increase over time. And I'll give you an example. I bought a bunch of properties in Brisbane many years ago now. I bought for $370 something thousand on the Moreton Bay side of Brisbane. At the time, the rents were somewhere around the 370, 380 per week. So it was close enough to a 5% yield on the purchase price. Now, the same rents for the same properties are, $500,000-$600,000. So the yield on purchase price has significantly grown in a few short years. So when I bought those properties and I put a 20% deposit down for my first investment property, right, it was still negatively geared. But the longer I've held the property, the rent has slowly but surely increased over time and has now got to the point where that same property that was once negatively geared in a high growth area is now completely paying for itself. A lot of these properties are actually now neutrally geared. They're not completely positive cash flow just yet, but they're neutrally geared, meaning that the rent covers the mortgage on the property and the rent covers majority, if not all, of the expenses associated with the property. So it's not actually costing me anything out of pocket, which is a massive key because you've got now a property that's in a high growth area, right? The Moreton Bay region in Brisbane, or Brisbane as a whole, is still a high growth area. It's growing significantly month on month. These properties are growing in value by about 10 grand a month, and it's not costing me anything. So all I had to do was buy the property right. So we bought it at a great price, bought it in a rising market, bought it where it's got very tight supply, and bought it in an area where the rent is slowly increasing over time.